It's time for
DodgerHeads.
high fly ball into right field. Hey, Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Freeman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads Unplugged with Scotty G. It's great to have you in here. Happy Monday. A lot to get into today. It's what a difference. What a difference one game in the World Series makes, and the Dodgers even this up. We haven't chatted since Friday, ahead of game one there. Tough game one. Absolutely no way about it. We haven't been able to speak since then, but I'm sure you've had a ton of time to break it down, get over it, and have some good feelings and some good vibes, after Yoshinobu Yamamoto's absolute masterclass of a complete game in game two. That was a pitching performance for me that I've gone back and watched, I would say combined, but when I'm breaking down some innings and going back and watching, half game, going that way, probably about 2 times. And just watching him be surgical through a Blue Jays lineup gives a lot of, positives for how the Dodgers and the pitching staff, and I'm sure fans can definitely not expect, but when things go well and starting pitchers, are doing their thing and you're working through the lineup, you're very meticulous, you're very stubborn, and you pitch to the scouting report and the offense takes that opportunity. There's a lot of good things that came away from game two, aside from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It gave, fans, the Dodgers and the offense probably like starting pitching can get us. Starting pitching's got us. After game one, Blake Snell, he couldn't establish the 4-seam fastball. And for me, that was the biggest thing. He couldn't get the top of the zone there, and you started seeing him work inner half, couldn't get that, and then the snowball effect. And that's, that game's in the past. We're 1-1. So I see, Andrew said, we need to hear from you, Scott. Look, there's a lot of good things to break down here. I'm feeling very good about where the Dodgers are at. You take that series on the road, you go 1-1 to start off the World Series. And usually you go on the road and you split on the road, you're feeling damn good. You say, okay, they did their job. It's just the fact that the Dodgers have, in back-to-back in the DS and the CS against both the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers, they went there and took 2 in their house. And now you split 1 in Toronto, and now you come back home feeling good of where you're at with the starting pitching matchup. I'm feeling good. They did their job. The offense has to get themselves going, but we'll get all into that. I'm really on here to talk, connect with you guys again, get us prepped for game 3. We're going to talk Tyler Glasnow, Max Scherzer against this Dodgers offense, who, like I just tweeted that out, that there's an incredible opportunity for them to flex their muscles. And I saw someone in the comments prior to the show speaking about you could see a 2024 performance from this offense. And last year's offense, somebody said it would have hung 10. No doubt. They would have no doubt hung 10. So let me just go through here. Real fast, let me get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's a pleasure to have you all in here. Thank you for supporting us here on Dodger Blue. Thank you for supporting me on Unplugged. It's been a pleasure to have you on this ride here, and it's good to be back. It's good to be here on a Monday morning, Monday afternoon. If you're joining me during your lunch break, avoiding your obligations, I appreciate you. Damn well I do. Shout out to early birds in here. Shout out to the tier ones. Everybody, I know you're in here. I see you all. I'm going to be starring some questions here and some comments that I'll talk about in a little bit. I've got one here. I'll pull up in just a little bit. But best way to get a hold of me, super chat. You want to toss that in there. You have some overwhelming feelings, thoughts. Toss that in there. But I'm always reading chat. We'll get to you. I've got you. To everybody already liking the show, thank you so much. You're on Facebook. You're on YouTube. You're on Twitter. Thank you a bunch. Please, share this around. Does me wonders, does the channel wonders, and I can't thank you enough. But Scott's thoughts from game 2. Will Smith. We spoke, I would say, in the last 3 weeks of the season, when people were asking about, looking ahead toward the postseason, and kind of thinking about, I think it might have been prior to his injury. And, he was starting to not wasn't playing so well going into second half, Will Smith again. And it kind of was along the lines of the Teoscar, the Tommy Edman thing. And can you see him, kind of breaking out of his second half slump that we see him take? But it was more about me having the belief and the understanding that we've seen Will Smith have big swings for a long time. We've seen him do it in the postseason, even last year when he was swinging bad, had big swings in San Diego, big swings down the stretch. And I love the fact that early on in the game against Gausman, he goes out there and bangs a slider that was elevated right up the middle for an RBI knock. Later in the game, works a hell of an at-bat, takes several fastballs that close to the zone. And with Alejandro Kirk and how framing and how exceptional he's been fooling umpires back there. BC, the umpire had a low zone, but Kirk was working it. He was working it, but Will Smith did a better job. He took pitches close. He took them down. He took one out away that I thought he was going to hack at. And then Gausman goes inner half. Will Smith turns and burns, and then the rest is history. Then the Dodgers just got the not pouring it on, but enough where the Blue Jays, the air was already out of the building, and Yamamoto didn't give him any air to breathe. So that's where I'm at. I believe that with Ohtani where he's at, has an opportunity today. He had a jam shot broken bat single which was good for me. He's had some good swings. Freddie Freeman, somebody brought up Freddie Freeman's batting average and how it's been kind of an opposite to what he did last postseason. Freddie Freeman had several swings in game 2 that I said, quarter inch on the barrel here, eighth of an inch on the barrel here, turning early. He's going to get one. I feel really good about where Freddie Freeman is at. I feel his body's in a good spot. His swing's in a good spot. I think Freddie Freeman, it will do some damage. Aaron, thank you. One of my favorite hats. I was gifted this one. Shout out to Tay. Appreciate you. So I feel there's guys in the lineup that have definitely shown me something. Max Muncy going opposite field there. That's something where, Gausman was pepper in the outer half. Kirk's going to keep getting it. He's going to keep inching, and he takes that one the other way. Justin Dean, credit to him for making that sliding catch in center field. I know it was a 5-1 game, but you're preserving that and saving Yamamoto, less pitches. And he goes 20 outs, 20 hitters to end that game up. So that's where I'm feeling from game 2, feeling very good about it. And I can't say enough good things about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's one of the top 3 best pitchers. I would say even, Major League Baseball. He is not just a thrower. He is a pitcher, worth every penny of that contract. And the Yankees will be kicking themselves the fact that they thought Garrett Cole was too high and mighty to pay Yamamoto $1 more. So every time I see that tweet that was the thing, they didn't think he deserved it. You look at back-to-back, complete games in the postseason, already with a ring under his belt, and he's worth every penny. So that's where I'm at. We're gonna close the book on game 2, feeling good about it. You return home 1-1, and I would really like to just get into, the Dodgers offense versus Max Scherzer. If you have any thoughts about this, put that in chat for me. If you're watching after the fact, put your insight and what you feel the Dodgers offense can and should do against Max Scherzer tonight. At Dodger Stadium there, whenever first pitch does get, thrown, because they keep saying 5 o'clock, but they've got their pregame stuff. It's always like 5:10, 5:15, something like that. But with where Max Scherzer has been at, he's made just one start in the postseason so far, and it was against the Seattle Mariners. Max Scherzer, he did all right. He did all right. Nothing spectacular there, but he goes 5 2/3, 2 earned, gave up a pump. He walked 4. Got 5 strikeouts there against a Mariners lineup that, chases a ton, whiffs a ton. They're going to hunt for the big swing. Just 3 hits on the day for him. And they allow Scherzer to go 5 2/3. After Max Scherzer puts up an ERA in the regular season of 5.19 over 85 innings pitched, less than a strikeout an inning, I expect today the Dodgers offense, I said at the beginning of the show that I could see a 2024 performance for the Dodgers. I could see the Dodgers laying it on Max Scherzer because against lefties this year, Max Scherzer is throwing 50% fastballs. I expect him to be, he's pretty liberal with his usage aside from that. Slider, change, and curveball outside, against lefties if it's not the 4-seam fastball. But Max Scherzer goes ahead and just pumps 4-seam fastballs to lefties. I think that he's going kind of stay on that. He's lived by his fastball. That's been his only plus pitch on the year. I think, positive run, 4 run value. So it's been a plus pitch. But I think that, with his secondary stuff, he has 4 below average pitches aside from that. It has to happen sometime because the Dodgers can't keep relying on their starting pitching to carry them through this postseason. You've got to work one off of the other. We talk about the boat. We talk about 2/3 of the boat. Well, this is a Blue Jays lineup that's going to force you to bring that other part up. The defense is going to have to play, but eventually stuff's going to fall. Stuff might leave the yard. And we'll get into Tyler Glasnow and how that affects it. But I like this one here. Yeah. And if they don't score against Scherzer, what will the narrative be? Then the offense is letting this team down. Then the offense is the part that is letting him down. Say Tyler Glasnow goes out there and throws 6, allows 3 earned runs, and the Dodgers can't scratch more than 2 off of Max Scherzer. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So crash, absolutely. That's the way it should be. The Dodgers offense has been underwhelming overall, aside from a few big performances there, but they've had some big swings. But it's about time that the Dodgers offense capitalized on an opportunity. And this is an opportunity. Game 1 was the one where I said that this was how I would line up the Blue Jays starting rotation. You have Trey Savage, the Dodgers haven't seen, gives you some weird looks, and you can try to steal a game. And then Kevin Gausman on the mound, Blue Jays are feeling good. Well, the Dodgers stuck around long enough. Yamamoto gave them that opportunity. So they got lucky on that front. But toward the end of his start, like we've seen so many times this postseason, the offense came through. The offense came through. They bailed themselves out. You don't have to look like, you don't have to look like the failed one, in a World Series game. You're able to put up enough and give yourself some separation there. And there was no error in the Rogers Center with that 5-1. Save yourselves, because at that point it was 1-1. And you're not feeling really good. Gausman's low pitch count there. Spray pattern started to get weird at the end of it. 3rd time through. And Will Smith has a swing. Muncy has a swing. Tack on 2 more against the bullpen there. So that's how we see it. You know what I mean? So against Max Scherzer today, we talk about expectation. My expectation is that it's not that they can, it's that they must. They must perform today against Max Scherzer. 41-year-old. He's got a ton of mileage. He's going to compete. And I think that's what fans and analysts always, look past, that he's seasoned and he's been around a long time, and they just look past, a competitor's ability to go out there and just, be meticulous, be stubborn. Could be Max Scherzer wants to keep pitching, but this could be his last run, depending on how this goes. So he's going to go out there and, pitch to the game plan, stick to the stuff that works. But this is a part of the Dodgers offense. It's a part of the postseason where they've got to step on the throat right here. They've got to come up. Shohei Ohtani's got to do this. He's getting 50% fastballs, 50% fastballs today against Max Scherzer. He gets changed down and away, spit on it. He wants to mix in a slider here and there, curveball, spit on it. Sit fastball only. Punish that thing, take it opposite way. We saw Shohei Ohtani try to do it. And that's one of the furthest opposite field balls, aside from Max's, that we've seen in a bit. So Shohei Ohtani, today's got to be the day. Today's got to be the day. Max Muncy, same thing. I think Freddie Freeman has a good day today. I love the swings. You look at stuff like that, and that's how I see it. I just had my numbers up here. Here we go. Freddie Freeman's got 3 career home runs against Max Scherzer. He's got 55 career at-bats against him. Not great from an average standpoint. Some Ks mixed in there. But if you're looking at that, Max Scherzer's not getting a ton of Ks this day and age. Freddie Freeman's got still power in the bag. He went 3 warning track shots against the Blue Jays essentially in game 2. So I think that with the ceiling of Max Scherzer is looking at 5 for me. But if they're able to go out there and do some damage, like we talked about, as fast as you can get the Blue Jays and Schneider off game script, you've got to do it. In a 3-game stretch right here, where the Dodgers have been exceptional at getting several looks. Like Pat Murphy tried to lie and say, his bullpen didn't get exposed for throwing his guys out there, his high leverage guys out there so much they got exposed. So I expect the Dodgers today to go out there and make Max Scherzer work, because they have to. Not because they can, but they have to do it. They have to do it today. This is an opportunity where the Blue Jays are in a spot that you've got Max Scherzer and then Shane Bieber in Game 4. Max Scherzer today, this is not – I love this comment here. Yeah, Matty Man, thank you, buddy. That was Freddie Freeman against younger Max Scherzer. A majority of those opportunities are against the younger Max Scherzer, where he had several strikeout pitches, where he was standing on the bump just shoving it down. But we're talking to Max Scherzer, who I'll still give credit to because I must. From where I sit, I give credit to players who have pitched to a high level for a long time. Max Scherzer has not pitched at a high level this year, but he has performed in the postseason. So if he's able to reach deep in the well for a little bit, this is an opportunity that the Dodgers are going to get Max Scherzer going out there and try to lay it all on the line. You've got to pummel. You've got to pummel. BC right here. Thank you, buddy. Batters facing Max Scherzer this year hitting .262 with an OPS of .810 and a near .500 slug. He's allowing a lot of damn damage, guys. That's what he's doing. He's leaving stuff in the zone. His spray pattern's not great. He's allowing damage. He's not going deep into games. This is the spot where you have to get him out early. The ceiling that if the Dodgers offense performs is 4. If you're able to go out there and do it, it's 4. Force them to go out there in this stretch of games here and get them off script. I know the other day, my biggest key, like Game 1, where the Dodgers had opportunities to put up more runs, my biggest thing was that the Dodgers put up more early in the game and don't just stop at 2. It's a completely different ball game. Completely different game. Completely different game. You cannot let a team off the hook. You cannot let pitchers off the hook if they provide you with that. TQT, what's up, man? He says if the Dodgers can't, basically the Dodgers can't hit Max Scherzer, then we might be in trouble. Sure. Somebody's in here as a Blue Jays fan. Mike Petty. What's up, Mike? Where's he at? What's he saying? We have 0 high leverage guys. Alrighty. Mike Petty. Relax, bud. Relax. Take it easy. But today's the opportunity for the Dodgers to go out there and face a 41-year-old Max Scherzer who's going to reach deep into his bag. And you've got to perform. It's a must. No way about it. No way about it. BC, if they blow them out, I can see them winning in 5. Otherwise, can't see it not going back to Canada. Yeah, I agree. I said my prediction prior to the postseason or prior to the World Series starting was in 5. Because I want to see them win it at home. But 6 was if I give the Blue Jays as much credit as I know I have to, like I want to, because they can go out there and work you. They've got some performers here. But against Max Scherzer, you look around and you see just number of at-bats here. Max Muncy's got a pump against him. Miguel Rojas, I don't expect to see him in there, but Teoscar Hernandez, not a bunch of success there. Again, this is different Max Scherzer. Tommy Edmonds had exceptional success. We're talking just 16 at-bats, but 6 for 16, a pump, 2 RBI, 1 OPS, and Mookie Betts, homer against him. But Freddie Freeman's the one I'm circling a couple times here. When you have that success for him, when you have the three swings that I liked in Game 2, a little excuse me double early on in the post. So I'm looking at that. You get some traffic on him. You force him. Say you get a lefty up there with runners in scoring position, and he's going to lean on that four-seam fastball to get himself out of a jam, and you cannot miss it. People want to talk about Andy Paez. We could talk about Andy Paez. I can't do it. I can't do it again. I can't have Andy Paez in there another game until he does something. It's been the longest leash for regularity purposes, and I understand that. Against righties, Max Scherzer is going 48% heater, 34% slider. Let's look at his start against the against the Mariners here. What he did against righties. He was 14 fastballs, 10 sliders. So he's basically four-seam slider. And Andy Paez against sliders this year. I know he's been all right. Four-seamers, he's just been getting beaten down. He's been getting pummeled. They're not letting him extend the barrel there. And you saw him, really almost get on a curveball and take it out. But other than that, little excuse me, base hit up the middle, not much there. A lot depends on the health of Tommy Edmonds' ankle. And if Alex Call is someone that they can put out there. I hinted at Kike Hernandez early on in center field. Dodgers don't seem like they want to do that. I really wouldn't either. I wish that Tommy Edman was healthy enough to play center field, and maybe he is. Maybe he is. It just, I keep talking myself back into the familiarity factor with Andy Pages in the lineup and swapping him out there. And TQT, thanks for saying this. Yeah, Pages has huge home and road splits. 165 WRC plus at home, 63 on the road. You'd let Andy start one more game at home to see if he has anything. Yeah, a lot would matter if the offense was clicking completely, but you just look at spots in a lineup where runners are on base and Andy Pages comes up, and it's a gotta be scenario, TQT, and you just yearn for the at bat quality. Say of Alex Call, who goes up there and if he starts 0-2, he's going to go up there and work you in at bat, and that could be the thing. And I know I see BC agreeing, and there might be something to that. It's just the at-bat quality's been so bad. And I like that he sat back on the curveball yesterday and almost took it. So maybe he's seeing something a little bit differently. But things continue. I can't see him keep doing it. You can't give away at-bats in the postseason. So perhaps one more day, and I can talk myself into that, and maybe I just did. So one more day against a Max Scherzer who's going out there and giving you basically a two-pitch mix with a little bit sprinkled in there. And if he wants to just sit, four-seam slider and go from there, so be it. Extend a barrel. Do something, and you could get back into good graces there. So TQT, thanks for doing that. You just convinced me live that I'm going to give him one more day. So I'm with you. But his K rate is putrid. His walk rate is non-existent. And those are things at the bottom of the lineup with Shohei Ohtani, Tommy Edman around him, Mookie Betts. You've got to find a way to get on base. You just have to. You have to be able to do that. So I think that's where a lot of the calls for Alex Call are coming in. That it's at bat quality, going up there and give you a walk, ability to play outfield, still a righty. So that's where I'm at. So one more day is where I'm at with Andy Pages, because I know there was some chatter about it. If you guys want to put in chat for me real quick, who you believe, today, who you're circling, not going to have the craziest game, but somebody you could see making Max Scherzer, exit this game. Who's going to punish for you? I said Freddie Freeman. I like where he's at. I'm going to continue to say it based on history and just the matchup. It's the matchup. That's where I'm at. I think today is a day Freddie Freeman has a swing, has a big swing here. Yeah. Let's move on. People saying Shohei, Tommy Tanks. I'm in. You know me, Tommy Tanks. I'm all about it. C Note says tell Andy Pages to accept a walk. No doubt. Tell my daughter that the same thing. When she's up there, goes 3-0, and she looks at me and she wants to swing. I'm like, it's got to be square down middle. If not, you take a walk. She got a double on a ball like at her head, and then I was like, great swing or a great double. I didn't like the swing though. So that's 10-year-old ball, that's 10-year-old softball, and we're talking everything. He's just got to go up there and work a count. He just can't do it. He can't do it. Andy Pages, I don't know what he does, man. It's like the James Outman effect. We talked a couple last year and a half ago, where I was like, he gets 0-1, it's over. At bat's over with. He's behind in the count, cooked. No ability to work something. Just such a free swinger. Mechanically, Andy Pages doesn't look right. His eye yesterday, he had a swing that was already. It was pretty good. I liked his swing on that. He took it like track on an off speed, and I was all right with that. But it's not enough for me to give him any leeway than one more game that I'm gonna give him till tomorrow, and then that's it. I was unaware of how much discourse there was, or maybe not discourse, how much negative stuff was surrounding Tyler Glasnow and his ability to perform against the Toronto Blue Jays, and how worried some people were. And perhaps I get it from a point of, you've got to be perfect and what the Blue Jays have done and what they can do. But Tyler Glasnow, what reason has he given people to doubt? What reason has he given people to doubt what he can do on a mound in the postseason? So far this postseason, he's been superb. Absolutely superb. 3 appearances. 4 appearances. Yeah, 3 appearances, excuse me. Like, where is this coming from? 0.68 ERA in the postseason so far, 18 punch. He's walking a bit. I don't know where it's coming from. People say Glasnow always worries you a bit. He's got one of the highest K/9s in history. So you can lean on that. You can lean on that. People say he's hit or miss. He needs to command the zone. He needs to command the zone big time. Going up against, the righties, they're going to have the platoons in there. Barger, Luke's. I told you I'm a fan of his, and you're going to get that. It remains to be seen if they're going to let Bo Bichette play. His knee does not look good, so I don't expect that. Andres Jimenez at short, he puts bat on ball. They got a lot of boys. Dalton Varsho, they've got some platoon guys out there. There's some mercenaries the Dodgers don't have this year, and we've been accustomed to that as Dodger fans, that you have some mercenary lefties where you're like, okay, you can go out there against a righty and it doesn't matter. You feel like you're going to pummel. Tyler Glasnow needs to work outer half. He's got to force the Blue Jays to play his game, swing early in the count. Ceiling for Tyler Glasnow as far as innings, I'm going to say 6, just because pitch count. Blue Jays will work some counts. They will swing early on, but I'm going to say 6. But I want to, Mike says Bo Bichette looked fine at second, making a great play. That's fine. But did you see him standing in the box and running down the line? Didn't look good. So I don't know if they'll be able to do that for a full game, especially against a righty. They will probably want to save him for a pinch hit spot. I don't know if he could play a full game. I don't know if he could do it. Unless it's against the lefty, that's it. I think late game, they want to bring him into a good spot, but he did not look great. He swapped the sleeve out on his knee for a massive knee brace, so he's reeling. But against George Springer is someone that I've got circled a few times here, because George Springer is someone who has been, kind of a career revelation for him as far as offensive performance. He had been great in Toronto, and this year he's had, a big time, coming out party. Has the big swing, in game 1. And big swing against the Mariners. And he's just punished inside fastballs. But after getting drilled on the wrist, that last swing, if you guys want to check out, some cause for concern, to be worried about George Springer for the Toronto Blue Jays, is watch the last swing he had in his final strikeout against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Fastball up and in, beats him to the spot. Springer whiffs, and he immediately pulls that hand off and winces. So that wrist is not in a good spot, and I believe the front office knows that. The Dodgers front office knows that, and I think even with George Springer's incredible success against four-seam fastballs this year, I think the front office, this game plan, these guys, they're going to go out there and they're going to force George Springer to beat them on fastballs. George Springer on fastballs this year has a 667 slug, 305 batting average. Him and Vladdy have been so good there. But looking at that last at bat against Springer, if you're able to, with Tyler Glasnow and the ability to have that, that sinker, that little runner, he's going to be running that thing into righties. If he's able to overlay that, that's the way you beat George Springer. That's the way you do it. Put away pitch there. You have to get it up and in. You have to get it to that spot. It's a cold zone in his hitting map. And that's where I believe that they're going to go with it. Okay. I don't think George Springer's wrist is in a good place. It's completely affecting him. Front hand, that's a big deal. So that's the way you attack him. And that's just another weapon out of the Blue Jays lineup that it's not that you can cross it off, but if you feel you've got a little beat on his wrist there, that's the way you go and attack him, because he's been great. You can't discount that. Even with, you think he's injured, you've got to pitch him tough. Vladimir Guerrero, they've been able to do the thing, and he can punish. Don't make a mistake. But from inning 1, you look at this, chat, everybody, you look at fastball command from Tyler Glasnow. That's the same thing. With Yoshinobu, it's the split. It's, command there. Is he able to work some stuff off? How's the tunnel? With Tyler Glasnow today, it's fastball command. And at home, Tyler Glasnow, I love this fact. He's been able to do it all. This has been the Dodgers' reason why you pay Tyler Glasnow. This is why you trade for Tyler Glasnow. This is why you go do it. And today is a big deal. I'm pulling up home and road splits for Tyler Glasnow. At home, he's been exceptional. 2.77 ERA this year, 61 2/3 at 11 starts, 80 punch, in 61 2/3 this year from Tyler Glasnow at home. So with where he's at, Tyler Glasnow is in a good spot. He's in a really good spot. 2 starts in Dodger Stadium there. He's gone 11 2/3, 16 strikeouts, 6 walks. So it's just eliminating that. The Blue Jays aren't a free swinging team, but like you saw yesterday in game 2 against Yamamoto, they started to chase. They started to go out of the zone. That's the way you do it. You got to go out there. You got to get to Max Scherzer early. Let me pull this banner down so I can go on both of these things here. This is what they have to do. You can't let Max Scherzer's 41-year-old self go out there and throw you 4 shutty. You can't do it. Unacceptable. You have to go out there and provide Glasnow with some cushion to attack and let him work with his fastball. You've got to let him get deep into his bag and just pound the zone. Force the Blue Jays to go outside of their comfort zone here. That's what you have to do. No more of this starting pitching is going to just leave the door, leave it close, and then they're going to kick it down. It's all well and good to make your way to the World Series, but when you're in an advantageous spot against Max Scherzer, who you should be able to, go ahead and beat, the Blue Jays know that they have to be ready with their bullpen. Force them to do it as early as possible. Force them to do it as early as possible. Okay? That's just what it is today. There's no more of this, wait and see. I'll take it. I'll preach on here all day long that the Dodgers are going to go ahead and wait for the door to be cracked open and kick it down. But you have to be able to just start your own, stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to do it. You got to get it early on, and you got to be able to cook. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Aside from it, I think that he just has to be able to command his fastball and then go ahead from there. But we'll know early on. I'm not looking past Scherzer. He could be well rested. That's fine. I don't think his stuff is as good as the Dodgers, have seen. There's 3 guys I would take ahead of Max Scherzer in the Blue Jays rotation. I would take a pen game. But the Blue Jays are going to work. They're going to work their bullpen guys. That's just how they do it. Hoffman came in. Varland came in. They're going to do it. It's all hands on deck. I know with an off day, but now you have everybody ready to go. Force them to go into their bag. And don't make it easy. Somebody said Teo's a clown. Teo's looking weird. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I know he's hunting, and then you've got to look at series and in a vacuum, each their own, and guys get you there. But he has got to do something this World Series. He's got to do something. He looks up there like it's an opportunity, and then just gets spun out of his shoes on stuff down, sliders. Just you can't. And then split. It's just I know Gausman had a hell of a start, and he's a talent. The Dodgers are stymied for the entirety of the game. But you've just find a damn way, Teo. Stop having just a black hole in the 5 spot. Just can't stand it. Can't stand it. But they got the ability to have the big swing. Ruby, what's up, buddy? Let's go, man. Here we go. Let me see. JY said, I just checked and it looks to be sunny in LA and the game is being held at Dodger Stadium. It's not going to rain and Glasnow will do great. Yeah. Yeah, no weird body feeling today. Nothing. He's going to be locked in. JY, he's had success there. Just go out there and pound. Just go out there and pound. Show Max Scherzer why this should be his last season in Major League Baseball because the stuff ain't there. But quirky things can happen. Got to go out there and play. This is just an opportunity. The Dodgers offense can go out and they can mash. They're teeing it up for themselves. They're teeing it up for themselves. Go be aggressive. Max Scherzer's going to give you one first pitch. I like this. Yeah, I don't know. It says Ted Williams was wrong about taking first pitch. Blue Jays couldn't care less about taking first pitch a lot of the time. They'll go out there and they'll just Corey Seager in the first pitch swing. And if Max Scherzer gets into that zone, I expect that to be the case as well. Freddie Freeman, that's my guy. That's my guy today. Let's see. Gausman, yeah. Joe Mann says Gausman is not very good yet. We struggled. He's lucky to have 3-4 homers. Gausman's a good pitcher, man. He's good. There's a reason why he got that money. There's a reason why he's an ace. I don't know. He's not like a front end guy, but he's a quality one. He's a quality one. Why are people so like it? Why do people hate on good players so much? He's a good pitcher. Let's see this here. Yeah, I mean, baseball today. I started this one from earlier. He says, number one key for tonight will be Glasnow is to limit free passes because this lineup will make him pay. They do. They for sure. And I'm glad I started this one earlier because the Blue Jays have no problem just having some excuse me base hits. You get a fastball in a spot. It's not that you're trying to punish. You just want to get a barrel. They've all done it. Varsho's done it. Jimenez did it. Mookie made a great play on that. That's one I took note of as well in game 2. They will go out there and just put bat on ball. It doesn't matter what quadrants it in, but that's just it. That's just it. Let's see. And I'd rather you swing first pitch, swing and miss first pitch, middle strike than watch it. Yeah, there's nothing worse than I don't think a lot of big leaguers do it, but I always laugh when a big leaguer takes a fastball down the middle and he's just shaking his head. And it's like, what are you doing, man? What are you shaking your head at? You just took the best pitch you're going to get. Shaking your head. Now you got 0-1. That goes back to like Little League days. Like, why are you doing that? Just go out there and hack. All right. We'll do questions. I'll take a little bit here, let you guys get out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get geared up for game 3. With questions. With your question, all caps question, put your prediction for tonight. If you're listening after the fact, comment your prediction for tonight. Who your MVP of the game is going to be. I want to see. It's great to have you all in here. All caps question for me. We'll do a little bit here. All right. Guys got nothing today? People feeling confident? BC says, I'm not worried about Glasnow performing, just the offense. Let's see. Someone wants to know Andy Pye is playing today. I'm not sure yet. I don't think the lineup is out. I'm sure I'd get DM'd it 100 times if the lineup was out yet. Prediction for today? Yeah. I don't know. Glasnow, 7 innings pitch, 1 earned, 8 Ks. Let's see. David says, would you rather have Alex Call in the outfield or Kim for base running if he gets on? Muncy home run, Dodgers win 7-2. I would rather. I'm gonna give Andy Paz today. I'm gonna give him one more day. I said it. So I'm not going back on it now. I'll give him one more day. If not, if he doesn't perform, if he has a couple bad at bats there, then we go Alex Call and we move and they go from there. If they don't want to go that route, then Miguel Rojas get in there. And if Tommy Edman can play center field, go ahead. But I think they're going to keep him at 2. That's just my thing. Don't rock the boat there. But then Alex Call will be the next thing. But Max Muncy's a good bet. Going opposite field is a big deal on velocity away. TQT says, pretend you are a Blue Jays fan. What positives do you take from the series so far? All right, I'm good at this. Game 1, you're able to work a pitcher, a Dodgers starter that doesn't have his best stuff, even though Blake Snell was on just a historic run and, coming into game 1 of the World Series. You stayed stubborn to your approach. You made the most of the mistakes. You went out there, and when, the Dodgers brought in a reliever in Emmett Sheehan, you just went out there and you kept banging, kept hitting. You didn't let up just because you had a lead. You kept swinging. But as far as game 2, the positives that you take away, Gausman's a stud. You feel good with Gausman on the mound. You just know as an offense, you have to make the most of your opportunities. And sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes, like I said, good pitching is always going to be good hitting. But as far as that, Kevin Gausman, the series went the way they hoped it would go. The Dodgers just were able to have the big swing. The offense didn't come up. Like I said, the Blue Jays probably felt great, amazing coming out of game 1. And then in game 2, you're like, we got our number 1 on the mound. And then he pitched like a number 1. If they have one or two swings here or there, base hit here and there, it's a completely different thing. Yamamoto is just better. So that's that TQT. That's where the positives are at for the Blue Jays. They probably felt that it was going as well as could be going into, say, like the 5th. Dodgers just, had another swing. Pete Black says, which one of our 3 MVPs has the best night at the plate tonight? I'm Freddie Freeman. But I'll be happily wrong. I'll be happily wrong. If it's Ohtani and he wants to go out there with a leadoff pump, gimme. Tape measure shot. Start it up there and keep it going. Keep it churning. But I would love it to be Freddie Freeman. That's my guy. He's had success against Max Scherzer at a different time in his career. A handful of it. And this is the way to go. Last thing I want to talk about before I close this page down on my sidebar here is that the Dodgers have to pitch around Vladimir Guerrero Jr. tonight if there's runners on base. Just has to happen. Or if there's a base open, excuse me. Yeah, just he owns Tyler Glasnow. So that's what I'm gonna say here. All right. Gotta put it up. Let's see. Yeah, Alex says Gosman was throwing 95-mile-an-hour meatballs down the middle, and the Dodgers' top bats couldn't capitalize. Luckily, he was kept in for Will Muncy to damage. Yeah, no doubt. I agree. EC says this: will we see Sheehan after Glasnow? Hope not, to be honest. I think that it's just going to, going across to, because that the Blue Jays are going to match up base the stuff here. So you have to have somebody in that feels good. Bonda gave up a pump, but you gotta be able to use everybody. Will Klein, I feel like Will Klein can do some things. If it's a close game there, I would expect Dave to go to Trinan instead. You go to Trinan instead. So that's where I think Dave will go. That's where I think he'll go. Will Klein, though. Yeah, I think Will Klein's got it. And says this: lights are too bright for Sheehan. I think it's a different role for him. He's not I don't think people saying he stinks. His regular season success speaks for itself there, but I think he's quickly learning, and the Dodgers are learning that it's much tougher to get strikeouts as a reliever than, his regular season stuff did it. Made it come that easy. Definitely stinks. He's not the arm I would have gone to in that spot. I don't know why they did that. He wasn't the guy. He's someone who can give you some length there. It's just the Blue Jays make a lot of contact. They do. They're playing to it. They make a lot of contact. Let's see. Yeah, JY says that's interesting about Glasnow and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Yeah, he owns him. He's had a lot of 6 for 17, a pump, 5 punch. So he's got some whiff in there, some whiff in the game. But it's just the damage. He's got 2 doubles there, a pump. That's it. You'll have to pitch to him at some point, but if it gets behind, just put him on. Go to the next guy. It's not a big deal. I don't know. It says Kershaw owns Vladdy Jr. I don't want to see it until clinching spot. Give it to me to a clinching spot, and then we'll talk. But I don't. If Vladdy's up there and you're like, I need an out, get it going 22. I'll just fall to my knees. Thwack. I don't want it. This is a good one. Yeah, Will Klein look good. Needs to be tested though. Yeah, I agree. I'm a big fan of Will Klein, Blake Williams as well. People in chat, BC, people have liked Will Klein's stuff for quite a long time. Shout out to the 1100 in here. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with me, on this Monday afternoon. Thank you. There's a couple. It's just does it feel too late to battle test guys? Yes and no. But when you're in this spot, like the Dodgers are, where you just have to, find out who's got what. And I think that I think if Will Klein's in a position and they feel good about his stuff, who cares? Let it roll, C-note, any updates on Alex Vesia? To my knowledge, no. Just going to continue to wish him and his wife the best, their family the best. Everybody's thinking about him. I will say, on a personal level, that I did text Matt, when that news kind of broke, that, that did affect me a little bit. Just, think about players, and you've spoken to those players beforehand, and it's just that type of stuff stinks. So sending them the absolute best. Hope everything's going well. Hope they're in a good mental space. And looking forward to getting an update on that whenever they're comfortable with it. Definitely. But C-note, Nothing yet. His, Alex Vesey, his wife, and their family, they'll make an update and send that out through the Dodgers when they're ready to go, when they feel comfortable doing so. So, just thinking about him. Definitely thinking about him. Let's see. Mike says, feel like I keep saying this and overthinking, but perhaps the day is when the offense collectively wakes up. It's a good team win. I mean, yeah. Did anybody believe that it would be different if the offense didn't score more in the first game? Like that would have changed the entire game one. That would have changed everything. A lot happens when the offense puts up runs. That's just how it goes. The offense puts up runs. That's how it is. So offense needs to make it a little bit easier on Tyler Glasnow and help him out and get some runs up. That stuff matters. That stuff definitely matters. Let me see. Nah, Mike. I mean, yeah, they scored a little bit in game 2. They just got to start earlier. Sometimes just pitching matters. Pitching matters. Mike says, no, this was the Dodgers' MO for 40 years. No hitting in the clutch. Last year was the exception. I mean, there's always going to be an exception. That's how it goes. It's tough to hit in the post. That's why those postseason performers, you try to keep them around. Teoscar, Mookie Betts had a coming out party. Ohtani at different spots. He took over a game himself, albeit they were up 3-0 in a series, but every game matters. Freddie Freeman, historic stuff. I mean, Corey Seager was bad in the post till he wasn't. Yeah, Alex. All right, here we go. I like this here. So, Scott, the offense let down the pitching early on. You savage on the ropes, and they didn't go for the KO. Yes, I agree. You could have. So much can happen if you, morale-wise, and as a pitcher and game planning, you take a pitcher to the absolute brink early on in the game, and you're like, that pendulum will swing so far if you just get that one hit or you have that one at bat where you don't go outside of what you can do to be productive. And they didn't. And that allowed him to, settle back in there, give him a little bit of length, and then they can hand it over and get back on script. So that's just what they have to avoid today. Like I said earlier, if the offense allows a 41-year-old Max Scherzer to go out there and give them a length, I'll be fuming. But I'll take a win however they get it. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Win's a win. Walk-off error, like Kirkering, couldn't care less. Win's a win. But for me to feel comfortable with the offense going forward and how to really bang the Blue Jays around over these next 3 days and take them to the, put them to the wall, that's what you have to do today. You got to force them to get the wheels turning in that bullpen early. David, who are my top 4 high leverage relievers? I don't know. Jeff talked about that last night. He had a whole segment about trust tree and all that. I don't have to give that. You guys can go get Jeff's thoughts on that one, man. But he covered that last night. Like Yamamoto just went complete game. I'm good. I don't need to talk bullpen. It's just matchup dependent. All right. I agree, BC. Don't expect last year's juggernaut offense to return. It'll be like spots, like spotty, but as far as consistent stuff, we haven't seen it. And even the Blue Jays, how do you guys think happened with that? The Blue Jays offense was humming. Game 1, they're probably like, we're going to steamroll. And then you get a immovable object in Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And he shuts them down. And that's how it goes. Hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to chill, man, real quick if you can. I'll have to get you out of here. I'll let people go for a bit, but I'll have to get you out of here. Joseph says this. Scott, did you think Jeff was getting annoyed with Blake in the show after the loss? Keep it a buck. I didn't watch, but I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched like tidbits here. He says, do you think Jeff was getting annoyed with Blake in the show after the loss when Blake kept talking about the offense failing when Jeff was talking about the pitching failure? I mean, it's a little bit of both, but I think the game was definitely would have been different if the offense, did some more early on. That always changes it. We talk all the time about how, you change a pitching plan. If you have a 3-run lead, 4-run lead, you're able to settle back in and pitch. That stuff matters. So I think that stuff matters. But I definitely, Snell didn't have he wasn't getting a call top zone on the four seam. He really was like, okay, I can't land four seam top zone. That quadrant's out of here. Yeah, BC. I didn't watch full thing, but I watched tidbits of it. But he couldn't land it inner half either. And then he really had to lean on the off speed down away and just wasn't getting it. They were able to just push that side because they knew he didn't have the hand, fastball inner half to righties. Wasn't getting the call there, wasn't getting the chase. And then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's how do I get out of here? And sometimes the game, the offense on the other team pushes you out. But offense definitely can alleviate that stuff when you can just force stuff in the zone and make them beat you, make them hit every single mistake that's thrown in the zone. So I think that's the way to go. Early offense will change the game no matter what you do. BC, I mean, this is a skewed stat for sure. This is an insanely skewed stat. So it's like it's not irrelevant. It's of note that they can beat up in one game, but they didn't do shit yesterday or in game 2. Excuse me. So it's an insanely skewed stat. All right, everybody. I'm going to take one more if I can. If I see one. If not, I'll let you all get out of here. Somebody saying the boos for George Springer. It's going to be big time. But the cheers for Shohei Ohtani could be better because guess what? We got him. They don't need him. We got him. They would have loved him. They would have loved him last year too. Yeah, see, we took care of him. He's out of here. I got you. Yeah, I was ready to get him. I was scrolling through stuff, but I got no place for that type of thing on my stream. I don't deal with racist nonsense. People that do that garbage can get out. I couldn't care less about them. Ray says this, crossing my fingers. Glasnow can give a 7 innings pitch. My main concern is the bridge from Glasnow to Roki. I feel good about tonight's game, though. And you should. And you really should. With everything we talked about, if you missed anybody missed the segments there about how I feel about Tyler Glasnow in the Dodgers offense against Max Scherzer, I laid it out how I believe it's going to go from a super in-depth perspective. But just telling you the things that Scherzer leans on and the things that the Dodgers can lean on to attack him and how to attack him there. You've got to make him work. If you're hitting early in the count, square something, man. Square something. So I feel good. I feel good going into game 2 that Yamamoto is going to have another repeat thing there. And I've got, again, like I said with Blake Snell, I've got no reason to doubt him, but you still got to go perform. Just work fastball inner half. Command the zone, work off that fastball. It's able to go deep into the bag and give your secondary stuff some room to breathe. George Springer, work fastballs up and in. That's the game. That's how it goes. So it's not just pitching him inside and just drilling him. You've got to allow him to figure it out without being able to extend a barrel. So Ray, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat here. Thank you for tuning in. Those are the things that I see today. So I'm eager for this game. To all the hype, everybody, thank you so much. Yeah, Surrey says stats wise, today's a must win. Yeah, you go out there and you win the second one on the road, and you come back home, you win game 1, and you roll from there. You know what I mean? Andrew, got you. He says, now I'm ready for the game. Thanks, Scott. I got you, man. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Scott Geirman. This is Unplugged. I'll keep it a buck. I've got a 30-minute window, but I stay on here as long as chat wants to go. So I appreciate all of you for letting me hop in here and yap a bit, go through my stuff, interacting with chat because you deserve it. If you're listening after the fact there, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time slot here. Touch base. Please enjoy the game. Don't stress out too much. Say sorry to your employer that you took 55 minutes out of your day to interact with chat and Dodger Blue. We've got you. All right, everybody. Please enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Scott Geirman. This is DodgerHeads Unplugged. Thanks for tuning in to Dodger Blue 1958. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, go Dodgers.